Well, Mayor Bob, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here. Nice little trip down to Marshfield to weave through a little bit of construction going down Center Avenue, but I know those are construction cones everybody around here is absolutely jumping for joy to see right now, and looks like it's going to be quite the project.
Yeah, we're actually very excited about it. The state is going to be here May 1st, and they'll begin that. They're going to do from Arnold to Harrison. They're doing a mill and overlay, so they're not a complete reconstruction, but they're going to start. And originally, what they were going to do is do the whole street, just close it down. Now, what they're going to do is on May 1st, they're going to start with the middle. So they'll do the middle two lanes, and that middle lane there's a little overlay there. So they're going to take that all down. They'll start with that, and so we'll still have one lane going on each way for traffic. And then they should be done with that, I think they said, by the end of June or maybe beginning of July. And then once that's done, then they will close that, they will open that up, and then they'll do the outside lanes. So we're very excited about it. It's just over a $2 million project, as well as the other projects that we're doing here in Marshfield. The other street projects come up to about $2 million. Great news is that we did find another $65,000. I met with our streets division, Dan Connect Public Works, Tom Turchi, and also other divisions, our wastewater treatment, to see if there was a way, this was back in November, is there a way that we could find more money by being more coordinated that's not going to cost the taxpayer any more money, but where we can get more road work done. And I was left with a lot of stares, as you can imagine. Can we find some money? And, when we had that conversation in November, there was a lot of stares, like, what is he talking about? And I'm so proud of these guys because they did it. They found that if they can coordinate some of the stormwater work at the same time that we're doing work, then stormwater can actually, it's beneficial for them to financially get it done, because then they can get ahead of things before they become emergencies. So they're actually saving money. Well, them saving money is giving us $65,000. You can imagine, so $65,000 for a road doesn't pay a lot. But boy, over 12 or 13 years, if we could continue to find that amount, some years it'll be a little bit more, some years a little less. That's over $1 million worth of road work extra. So what this great thing has done is, we had about $2 million worth of projects to do. They were very financially conservative last year, and so there was a little bit left over from last year. So we're going to be doing another 2.1 or so. So well over $4 million of road work being done this year in Marshfield. Couple that with last year's about 2.8 million. We're doing a lot of road work. So there's a lot of orange cones out there. I hope the people going through Marshfield will be patient with us and will be very cautious as they go through there. We don't want any accidents.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know in talking with your predecessor, road work has been something that has just been at the forefront here. It seems like it's just an issue that you can't stop talking about and just can't seem to get ahead of. Now, if you're talking about $4 million over a couple of years, it sounds like some pretty good progress.
Well, historically, we've been doing about $2 million per year worth of road work. It just so happens that last year the state came in and did 29th. And Central Avenue is actually State Highway 97, so the state is actually responsible for that. So, between the last 2 years, probably close to $9 million worth of road work. So that gives us a good jump. There's still more that needs to be done. As you know, this winter was brutal on roads, and you've got, expansion, contraction, heaving, and, it's a lot. So I'm optimistic. I'm very happy with our roads people, and we're looking forward to getting that done.
And one project as well that you're very happy to put a wrap on here in recent weeks was the sale of the old City Hall building. Of course, we are right here in the new City Hall, the council chambers, with all of your predecessors around you. But the old building, it's been on the sale block for quite some time, and it sounds like you're making some progress there as well.
Yeah, we're very, very happy with the buyer that came along. It's been a process. They started 3 years ago, probably with a price that was way too, well, we know it was a price that was way too high. And started to get offers because they put it in an RFP, request for proposals, and they wanted the building to be used for certain things. Well, when you say you can only use it for this use, what happens is you tend to get low offers, and then people want assistance. And it kind of does make sense, because you're saying put this here, there, then they're saying, well, then give us some money to do it. So when we took that off, when we took the boundaries off, if you will, and just put the building up for sale, we got a great offer, and we're looking forward to closing May 1st. We got, I believe, a fair price. It'll get back on the tax rolls. The attraction of the building is that close to $350,000 a year in income from the roof income's about $150,000, and then there are some really good renters in there. The county rents, and there's going to be a county expansion in there, which is great. And we have a great pharmacy in there, and other small businesses. So we're looking forward to that, and we're glad that it's going into their hands. It'll be on the tax rolls.
Absolutely, and you talked about the tenants and the antennas that are already there on the roof, so that made it a very attractive bit as well. But what else makes it attractive is, the office space on those top few floors that you vacated. Do you know if there's any plans for that yet?
I don't know what that is. I know that the person that purchased the property is a builder, so sky's the limit for what they want to do. Do they want to put in other offices? Do they want to use 2 floors for downtown housing? That's an option. So we're excited to see what they're going to bring.
And as far as the tax roll goes, do you know exactly what's going to be coming back on the tax roll yet from the building, or is that?
No, I don't have that. We haven't well, I'm sure it's been figured, but I'm not aware of what that is.
Okay, gotcha. So we'll be looking forward to seeing what that is, and again, looking forward to seeing what the future of that building holds.
Sure.
We're getting into summer here, of course, and that means, we already talked about the road projects and the other outdoor projects, but you got to have a little fun as well in the summer. I know that you have had a pool project as well that you've been milling about. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is very exciting. It's been, the council has been going over this, I believe, for the last 18 to 20 years. That the current pool is quite old, and it's exceeded its life expectancy. So we have to do something. And many of our residents will leave here to go to water parks, maybe up in Weston and whatnot. And so we really need to have a nice a pool, aquatic center here. And so the council made the decision to proceed with those plans. There's organization going on for fundraising. So right now the project is slated at $6 million. Those are old figures. I'm sure that's going to get bumped up. But where we'll get half of that from citizen involvement, citizen donation, and the other half from the city. So we're very excited that is progressing. In a perfect world, we'd like to get construction started next year at this time, but it's still got to go through a lot of processes. But we want to make sure that we do it right. We want to do a good aquatic center, which would include a lap pool, apparatus for the kids to play on, one of those lazy rivers, and a lot of different things where you could go there and you can really enjoy the water feature. And what's great is this aquatic center will be directly across the street from Wildwood Park, which is a great park there that kids can play in. They got a pond there for people to fish, a big pond in the back, and of course the Wildwood Zoo is there. So you're just talking about a great entertainment for a family on a weekend. We have a lot of, in the summer, we have a lot of, at Hackman Field, a lot of baseball tournaments, and our new athletic facility over at the high school, we're very excited about that. They'll be bringing tournaments. So, if you're a kid that's 9 years old and you're coming to a tournament in Marshfield and you have a game at 9 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, well, what do you do in the middle? We're hopeful that they'll come on down to the aquatic park, have fun in there, have a picnic at the Wildwood. It's really going to be a tremendous thing.
You mentioned doing this right. There's a lot of people that say, why waste money on projects like this? Why stick all this money into it? This is something that you just answered that question. You got to give people a reason to come here, bring in people from outside of Marshfield, come in here and shop for a weekend, spend some time at the pool. That sounds like a great family weekend right there.
Well, and that's, that just gets into quality of life. We need things. So many times you see people, you see it if you go to local restaurants. People will be in there texting back and forth. They're having dinner. This is a time when people could put the phones down, go in the lazy river, and just go have some fun. So I do believe, there were skepticism. Some people say, why are you going to have a pool when it's only going to be open from May until September. And it's like, well, May and September are crucial times because a lot of people have done in the past is they'll leave Marshfield to go to Weston for the day to play in their water park, do their grocery shopping up there, get their gas, and come back. So, and it's also an economic development thing. Other people, you know, Marshfield is in a great place because we're only 2 hours away from the cabin where people have their cabins. So maybe they don't go up to the cabins 4 weeks in July. Maybe they go up 3 and they spend 1 here. They've got to have something to do. And I believe this is going to be a great attraction.
And absolutely. And you're talking about water slides, maybe a splash pad area, things like this. So this is really kind of a blank canvas for you right now, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you know what makes a great community is community gathering areas. This is going to be a community gathering area. If you ever get the chance in the summer, similar to the one up in Wausau, our Wenzel Family Plaza has a splash pad there, and kids love it. And it's the plaza is a great meeting area. So they've got they got a stage there for a band, huge area of grass, and then they've got the water feature there, and it's a lot of fun to go over there. The kids are playing, but the adults want to get in there too.
Absolutely.
But if you go, this is what's so great about this gathering area. If you go over there on a Saturday morning, you've got the people out there in it. There's a yoga club, and they meet over there to do the yoga. The kids are playing in the water feature. And then you've got seniors walking around because there's a senior center right around there. It's just a great thing, and it's a great community area.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to sell me on a splash pad. Those things are awesome. I mean, who doesn't love getting water dumped on them when it's 90 degrees outside, right?
Right.
And yeah, it sounds like an absolutely great proposal. We'll look forward to seeing where the discussions go with this. I'm sure you'll be taking some community input and
Absolutely.
ideas from the residents on that as well. So we'll look forward to seeing where that goes. Anything else that we should know about that we've maybe missed in Marshfield here the last 2 or 3 months?
There was an exciting meeting that took place just this past Thursday, and we had members of the Common Council, Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce and Industry, our Convention and Visitors Bureau, downtown or Main Street, the Marshfield Utility. We've asked a representative from the hospital to come, and the school district. Not everybody was able to make it. But what we're looking at is because the world is changing, economics are changing. And so we brought all of these different areas of the city together to talk about what is going to be our vision. How are we going to, as life unfolds, how are we going to be ahead of the curve as opposed to being reactive and way behind the curve? And I'm very enthused like that. There's a lot of activity taking place in Marshfield right now. It's a very exciting place to be.
And you're at the center of it, of course.
I'm the one calling the meetings. We just met last week with the Marshfield Utility, and on what they do, and they do a tremendous thing for the citizens of Marshfield. They just presented us a check at the last Common Council meeting for just over $2.1 million. So we keep our rates very, very low. So it's a great thing. But do you know that the last time that the Common Council met with the utility was 6 years ago? We have to do a much better job of communicating, because sometimes even though you're in the city and you've got different departments doing different things, many times there's not good collaboration. Well, that's changing, and we're collaborating, and it's very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate the time here this week. We'll look forward to chatting with you down the road as well as these proposals come together.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.